And then, Gene, do you have a comment on the cost to recipients?
Yes. First of all, if you want to have timely information, and that was critical in the Recovery Act, that was real-time information on by quarter from the time it went out. The only way to do that is to involve the recipients. I mean, you can't wait till they report back to the agencies and then have the agencies accumulate the information and report it out. At the end, it just won't be timely. So if Congress is interested in timely information, the recipients have to be involved. Now, how you involve them, I think, is appropriate and needs to be worked through so that you can reduce the burden on it. You can pre-populate the information that the federal government already has, as Mr. Gregg is saying, they don't have to report that information again, that you only get the information from them that they're the only ones that have on a timely manner, and it can be linked back appropriately on the systems. That's why I think the Data Act has an advisory committee. I think there needs to be more regular, ongoing dialogue between the federal, state, and local communities. I think the Recovery Act prompted that because of the urgency and the amount of money and issues, but there's no regular forums underway for having this dialogue and working through solutions to the problems. And so I would encourage that. The reason I think legislation would be enormously helpful in this area is that you have to have a statement from the users of the data of what they want. You know, people, it's like having the system built by the IT professionals without knowing what the users want at the end, and there's clear statements about that. And that's Congress acting on its behalf as policymakers and on behalf of the American public as representing the people about that information. So I think there has to be that dialogue and agreement. Otherwise, what you're going to see, I believe, is a proliferation of individual efforts that are going to continue, which is an extension of what Mr. Werfel and Mr. Gregg are talking about, and why we have a situation now is that people weren't satisfied, so they want this information, that information. I think there's an opportunity to rationalize that now, which would be enormously helpful.